There once was a mirror sealed in a dusty attic, an heirloom long forgotten. For decades, the family believed it was cracked beyond repair. No one ever dared to look into it. It was just there, broken, useless. But one day, a little girl playing hide-and-seek stumbled into that attic. She found the mirror, wiped the dust, and peered in. To her surprise, something strange happened. The cracks refracted the sunlight pouring in through a nearby window, scattering rainbows all across the room. She gasped, "It's magic." And in that moment, the mirror was no longer broken. It was beautiful. Sometimes life breaks us, not to ruin us, but to let the light in from angles we never imagined. Welcome to another soulful session of Shanti Harmony. I'm Shan, your guide and friend. Today's theme is inspired by a beautiful song titled "A Blessing in Disguise." And there's a line that haunts and heals me. Though it burned, it shaped my life. Let's dive into today's stories of transformation, where pain met perspective and healing was born not in spite of the storm, but because of it. Let's welcome our first guest, Alina Rose.
Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Alina Rose, and I want to title my talk, "The Suicide That Gave Me Life." I'll be honest, there was a time I didn't want to be here. I had lost my job, my marriage collapsed, and I felt like a ghost floating through life. No purpose, no spark. Nights were the worst. Darkness outside matched the heaviness within. One evening, I sat by the river with the intention to end it all. But a man walked up, barefoot, humming something like peace, peace, love, peace, love, peace. He looked at me and said nothing for a long while. Then he asked, "Do you want to die, or do you just want the pain to stop?" I couldn't answer. My tears did. He sat beside me and began to speak about rhythm, not of music, but of surrender. "Stop fighting the fall," he said. "Flow with it. Life's not asking you to fix it, just see it. Then help something." "Like what?" I asked. He pointed to a dying plant nearby. "Give that thirsty one some water. Be the reason something else lives. That's how you begin to live again." That night, I didn't go home. I went to the nearest garden. I poured water into a pot like it was a ritual. And you know what? A part of me felt useful. That little act became a rhythm. I started tending to plants, then volunteering at an animal shelter. The need to end it all faded. I became a distributor of life, an accidental angel for tiny beings. Through attention, love, and contemplation, a sacred practice of going inward to listen for the divine voice within instead of just thinking things through, I began to feel life again. Contemplation isn't thinking, it's listening, quietly, with trust, and it changed me, led me to the stars that shine so bright. Today, I run a wildlife rescue NGO. I laugh often, and I live joyfully, because the greatest blessing came dressed as a farewell. But instead of dying, I discovered why I was born.
Thank you, Alina. Sometimes the universe doesn't save us with thunder. It whispers through thirsty plants and barefoot strangers. And now, it's time for our second guest, Marcus Vale.
Hey everyone, I'm Marcus Vale, and I'd like to call my talk, "My Fired Job Lit the Fire in Me." I was the golden boy at a tech startup. Fast promotions, company trips, you name it. Then one random Monday I got fired. No warning. Just an HR email and a cold walk to the elevator. My pride shattered. I spiraled into fear, rent, bills, identity. I kept hearing this line from your song, Shan. Every no was paved in gold. But I didn't see gold. I saw grey. I avoided people. I felt like a walking failure. One morning, in that fog of self-loathing, I was watching birds feed from my balcony, and I thought, they're just doing. No applause, no performance. So I started doodling again. Something I hadn't done in years, then sketching, then painting. Turns out that firing had created the space I never would have given myself. I began selling my art online, slowly, quietly, but the colors returned, inside and out. Today, I run a custom mural business. I get paid to paint walls that tell stories. Looking back, that "you're fired" email was divine graffiti. Ugly fonts, holy purpose.
Hi family, I'm Nia Juno, and I'll call my talk, "The Wound That Made Me a Warrior." When my fiancé left me a week before our wedding, I thought my chest would cave in. I couldn't eat, couldn't think. The betrayal felt so personal, so poisonous. But then, during one of my long walks, I heard a little girl say to her mom, "If the puzzle piece doesn't fit, it doesn't mean it's broken. It just goes somewhere else." I stopped in my tracks. That became my mantra. I sat in contemplation each morning, just listening inward, asking, where does my peace go now? I didn't get answers right away, but I got peace. And over time, that peace became power. I started boxing to move through rage. I also took self-defense classes, not to fight others, but to honor my own strength. Every loss, a lesson learned. Today, I'm a certified personal safety coach for women. I help them rediscover strength through every tear and tremor. That man broke my plan, but in doing so, he built my purpose.
Pain doesn't always announce its gift, but one day you'll unwrap it and realize time reveals what tears conceal. Let today's stories simmer in your heart. If you've ever cursed the sky, maybe, just maybe, it was cracking open just enough to let a rainbow in. So now, take a deep breath and listen to the full song, A Blessing in Disguise. Let its melody melt the blame and invite a blessing, because your life is precious. For what once hurt now testifies. It was a blessing in disguise. Share this with someone whose rainstorm might just be hiding a sunrise. Full link to the music is in the description below. With love and rhythm, Shan for Shanti Harmony.
What's the message meant for me? Through the storm I barely see. Every door that slams so tight, only his